Hey everybody, Brad here with BTPA. Today we're going to cover how to use the Morningstar ML5 with the Boss ES-8, and we'll even cover how to set the MIDI channel of the Morningstar ML5. So without further ado, let's get it on. Alright, so maybe you're one of those people that 8 loops on that ES-8 just isn't enough for your tonal needs. So you've got the ML5 switcher, and that's how you're going to make your life easier, fit all your pedals on some mega board. It's exactly what we're about to show you, and we'll show you how these two devices play with each other and setup and things like that. So to get started, you're going to want to connect a MIDI cable from the MIDI output of the ES-8 to the MIDI input of the ML5. First thing you do is you're going to have to power off the device. So the ML5 is now off. You want to hold the E button down when you power it back on. You'll see when you let go, that learn button is flashing like crazy. So now A accepts program change commands on all MIDI channels. B, channel 1, C, channel 2, D, channel 3, E, channel 4. So in this particular board, this is going to be channel 1. The learn button stops flashing. You're all good. Now, what we're going to do is show you the first way of programming the ML5 to accept program changes, to turn patches on and off. So what we'll do is start by the ML5 side. So on the ML5, we've got let's say we want to do a patch with the big muff on. You hit the learn button, and you'll see it starts flashing. That's all you got to do on the ML5 side. Okay, so now we've got the ES-8. We're doing patch 8.1 on his thing here. So we've got patch 8.1. You're going to go to edit. You want to edit the patch. Normally it starts all the way on loop on off. You want to cruise on over to patch MIDI 1. That's what we hit. This is usually all off. So we want to do channel 1 because that's the ML5. Then the command or the program changes 1. We're just going to do program change 1, and that will signal the ML5 to turn on the big muff whenever you hit the number 1 button on this patch. So that's what we're doing. Then you hit right, and when you hit right on here, you can hit right again, and before you hit it again, I'm going to move the camera so you see the ML5. So when you hit the right button again, the ML5, the learn button will flash really quick, and that just shows that it is programmed. So see how it's flashing? I'm hitting the right button again, flash, and now it's programmed that way. So right now I have patch 2 on this ES-8 to turn all of the loops on the ML5 off. So I'm going to hit button 2, show all the lights off, and I'm going to go back to 1, that program that we just made, and that turns the big muff on. So that's one way to do it. Now we're going to go over how you can use the CC commands. So we've got a link below to our website, the blog post that shows the values and all that information. Or you can just look at the ML5 manual because they've got a table of it all spelled out pretty easily. We're just going to go over how to execute it. So right now, as you can see, the synth is selected on this, on the ML5. So we're going to make patch 4 over here turn off that synth, and then we're going to make it also turn on the phase 9. And we're going to hit edit and patch, so enter. And again, it'll be all the way over here, but we want to go to MIDI 1, enter. Now, usually this is what you see. We're going to select channel 1 because that's what we want to do. It's on channel 1. And we want to turn the synth off. So the value for that is going to be 1. Whoop, is going to be 1 because the way that the Morningstar CCC commands is that 0 is how to control all the loops on or all the loops off at once, and then each number 1 through 5 will correspond to loops A through E. So we want to go to 1 because the synth is 1, and the value, anything from 0 to 63 corresponds to turning the loop off. So we've got that. And then we want to go to patch MIDI 2 because we also want to turn the phase 90 on. So enter. CC for the phase 90 is going to be 4. Because that's in loop D. The value is going to be 64 through 127 because that's what the ML5 needs to see. We're going to write it all, and the changes were made. So to show you what we've done here, we're going to hit, that was patch 4 that we were programming, and that turned the synth off and the phase 90 on. So patch 3, we have it, we're turning the synth on. So just to show you what we did, when we hit patch 4 now, the synth should go off and the phase 90 should go on. And it does. Okay, so we've shown you how to use CC and PC messages from the ES-8 to the ML5 for toggling loops there. Now we can take this a step further because the ES-8 allows you to change using the assign functions what each button does within the ES-8. So for instance, you can change the bank up or bank down button or the mute button to do something else, or any of the numbers for that matter. So let's say we want patch 6 is what we're going to show you on the ES-8. And that turns on, when you hit patch 6, maybe that turns on a delay or a couple different effects that are running through the ES-8. But while you're on that patch, maybe you want to be able to toggle one of the pedals or a couple of the pedals in the ML5 on and off by hitting just one button as well and staying within that patch. Well, you can do that. So here we go. So right now we're on patch 6. And we've got the mute button to toggle the compressor from the ML5, which is loop C in the ML5, on and off. So hitting the mute button turns the compressor on and off. Now, here's how you get there. You hit edit, and you're going to cruise over to control expression and assign 1. So normally you're all the way over here. Cruise all the way over to assign 1. Hit enter. Turn the switch on. Source is mute because that's the mute button. This mode is toggle. The category is MIDI because we want to send a MIDI command. Channel 1 because that's the ML5's on channel 1. Now, the CC commands for the Morningstar 6 through 8 toggle it on and off. So 1 through 5 selects the loop. Obviously 1 being A, 5 being E. That just selects the loop, and then when you send the command, it's either on or it's off. So that's not what you want to do. When you go, the Morningstar ML5 manual describes this really well. So when you go through loops 6 through 8 or 6 through 10, that's when you can toggle on and toggle off using the same button. So going to CC command 8 is the compressor. So that's loop C. So 1 through 5 is A through E, and then 6 is A, 7 is B, and then obviously 8 C. So you go there, and then any value, it doesn't matter what it is, you can just leave it. You don't have to change it to 64, 127. That was just the previous setting that we had before. But anyways, any value will do it. So then you just hit right, 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 executes. So now, and I like that it's in sync now with the mute button. For my OCD, you can see that it's off. Hitting the mute button turns that compressor on. We're back in action. And what's nice is that it's synced with the light. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really hope this helped you. The ML5 and the ES-8 are two really great pieces of gear, and they're really going to make your playing, programming, everything a lot smoother and easier, especially on these larger type of boards. If you have any questions, shoot us a comment below, drop us an email. It'd be great if you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for some more videos. Until next time, everybody.